What's up everyone, welcome to a new Back 4 Blood Early Access Beta video. Today we're going to be going over the versus mode briefly and just kind of what to expect, how it works. There's a lot of conversation with the versus mode at the minute that it's not as good as the original Left 4 Dead one, or that it's better. It's a very mixed bag of opinions, but today I'm going to do a video kind of introducing you to the basics if you haven't played already. And for those people who, won't be joining us until next weekend when the beta goes more open, if you did get access to the beta this weekend, I hope you're having a good time with it. And if you're one of the people that managed to get a code off of me yesterday now, then I hope you're all enjoying the beta. Do let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't think it's as good as Left 4 Dead. Let me know if you think it's better. There is plenty to talk about with the game, so I'll be posting videos on and off throughout the week alongside Resident Evil stuff. But this is the versus mode, so let's get into what you really have to expect when you go into this mode. So first things first, pick your characters. They have the same kind of benefit that you would receive from them in the PvE campaign. I played as Holly, which is a stamina, kind of increased stamina to your team, I believe. After that, you'll be choosing 4 different cards. You take these in and they'll give you a kind of a buff in a certain area. Some might give you more ammo capacity, some might give you more healing. Some can make you take reduced damage for a certain amount from normal Ridden enemies. So pick whichever ones you want. It depends on how you want to play it. You want to play as a tankier support role of your team? Do you want to play damage? It all depends on the cards you get, and then you'll be thrown into the kind of pre-game lobby after that point. Use the brief amount of time you get for that timer to kind of explore the map and figure out where you want to go, where you want to hold up, because after this timer runs out, there'll be kind of a mad dash kind of moment before the game actually starts. So after that timer runs its course, you'll be in a Scavenge sequence, which lasts a certain amount of time. This essentially gives you the opportunity to run around the map, open all the crates you see, open the supply boxes you see. They contain weapons, they contain healing, they contain grenades, defibrillators, medkits, stuff like that, which is going to help your team survive. While this plays out in the background, I'm going to give you an idea of how the game mode works. This is essentially a 4v4 competitive mode. And what you're tasked with doing is, if you're on the survivor team, you need to survive for as long as possible. Obviously, when you all die, it ends. As the Ridden team, you play as a select few of the special infected, which we'll cover later on in the video when we switch sides, and your goal is to kill them all as fast as possible. Because when the round's over, you'll switch around, and essentially, you'll win the round by being the team that survives for the longest. You do this for the best out of 3, so obviously if one team wins 2 rounds back to back, they win. If it's a draw, it goes to the 3rd round. You get the idea. It's like a best out of 3, whoever survives the longest wins the round. So that's the rules. Now we'll go over kind of how best to play as the cleaners, which are the survivors, and just kind of give you some tips on how to play this together. So in classic Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood fashion, the whole game, especially when you're playing as survivors, whether that is in PvP or PvE, is teamwork, communication, stuff like that. So straight out of the gate, I would really recommend playing this mode with people you know. And that is not the easiest case for everyone. I know some people do not play the same games as their friends, so I completely get that. But there is a ping system in the game. You can obviously turn on a microphone and talk to these people. You're on a cross-platform, so anyone on PC can just kind of type and chat. But communication is key, because at the end of the day, you're trying to survive as long as humanly possible. You're trying to survive longer than the other team, and you're not going to do that if everyone's kind of split up and not playing together. So some ideas I do have in terms of how to really kind of be the best you can be is be sure to ping and call out what special infected you see, because they all do different things. You have like the exploders, you have like the spitter ones that kind of web you up, you have the ones that leap at you, you have the big guys or the tall boys, whatever they're called, that grab someone in place, charges, they can knock people off the map. There is a lot of different variation to the special infected that can spawn in a round, so you want to be making sure you ping these to your team and prioritise the tanky ones rather than the speedy ones, because the speedy ones, and that is, for example, the one that kind of webs you up. I'm not familiar completely with the names of these yet, so you'll have to bear with me. But the ones that web you up, they move around quickly, and they're hard to lock down, but when they are locked down, they die like a normal infected, essentially. Same with the exploders, there is a weak point that kills them easily. Do not try not to kill them close to your team, obviously because they'll explode and take damage, but communicate where they are and what you see as best you possibly can. Another thing I would say is try and use a variation of weapons. Try and have someone with a assault rifle, an SMG, an LMG, and a shotgun, just to kind of cover all bases in terms of if a special infected is close to you, or if one is really far away, you kind of have the option to deal with them uniquely and between your team. Again, this does require some communication, some setup, but if you have the people and you have the means to communicate this with your team, please do so, because the amount of lobbies I've gone already where people just kind of do their own thing and don't, not through lack of trying, but don't really communicate that well, is quite annoying to say the least. The last bit of advice I give you for playing as a survivor is do not hoard all the supplies. There is ammo crates around and healing around and defibrillators. Don't just spam use them, don't just remember where they are and get them for yourself. You are a 4-player team and everyone needs to survive to kind of guarantee you the most kind of time survived at the end of the round. You know, the longer you're all alive, the longer the timer will last. Because once it's down to 1 or 2 people in this mode, which it will be soon in the footage, it's not as easy because the ring closes in, it gets a smaller environment, which means there's more zombies and more confined space. There's more special infected, kind of being able to easily lock you down because there's less places to go. So it is, you know, it is difficult to kind of deal with situations like that. And in this footage I did have a decent team and there was some communication, but it could have been better. Like for instance right here, I got stuck in a corner with an axe and I believe I still managed to get out of it. I did die, because this is where the round ends, but, you know, if I had one extra person shooting in that corner with me that was alive, I probably would have survived and got away and healed, but that was the end of our survivor run, so now we're going to switch sides and show you how to deal with it from the Ridden's point of view. Alright, so, halfway through the round, again, you switch sides. You have to pick a class. You have a Stinger, a Reeker, a Tall Boy, and a Normal Infected. These are varying characters and they do different things. I have kind of briefly gone through the description of each one so you can read them out. So by all means, kind of, you know, read those to your heart's content and pick which one you want to play. It goes into the pre-round phase and the scavenge phase. In this phase, as an infected, you cannot spawn in, they can't see you, and you can't do any damage to them. The pre-game and the scavenge phase is primarily for survivors to get set up ready for you. So we'll skip straight ahead to the gameplay now on the Ridden side. So once the scavenge phase is up, you can spawn in, and same principle applies. Kill their team as fast as you can, and make sure they don't survive as long as your team. Little bit of a warning, in this match, I didn't do so great. I was trying one of the longer range, squishier characters. This is the Stinger. What this character can basically do is leap around the map for easy escapes and to dive and do some damage, as well as hitting survivors with this spit web type stuff that locks them in place. A very good tactical infected to use if you want to stay out from far away and try and snipe. Probably not the best map for it, considering how condensed it is. There's a lot more open maps in the pool, and I believe there'll be a lot more open maps at full launch. But I just want to show some gameplay of something that not many people seem to play. I think a lot of people seem to play the Exploders or the Tall Boys, so I thought I'd jump in with the more tactical choice of Ridden. As you can see, once you die, you go into a respawn, and you do have to spawn in manually, and you have to be out of sight of survivors to spawn in. They can't be next to you, they cannot be in line of sight of you, because obviously, if that's the case, you're either going to die or spawn right next to them without them knowing and kill them. So, you do have to spawn away from them to make it fair for both sides, really. But so, as you can see, I did lock that guy in place, and it takes a few, but I definitely managed to do that. I believe our team actually dunked on these guys pretty easily. I would like to say some of our spit players were pretty good, but that's just me. The infected are very fun to play. I have managed to play from the point of recording this. I've managed to play all of them now, and there is footage of all of them I'll be releasing over the next kind of week and 2 weekends. They're very fun to play. The variation's nice. They play very differently. Some are tankier than others, and obviously with that, some of them get focused more than others. Like the Tall Boys seem to be the tankiest ones of the lot so far, and you know, when you do play one of them, you are being focused out because you are a big interruption, because you manage to pick someone up as that guy and they cannot do a damn thing to stop you. But that is going to do it. Obviously, this is just the first round of the match and it does replay. I think everyone kind of left at the end of this though, so yeah, we dumped on pretty easily. But this is the versus mode. very different opinions people have on it right now. I for one quite enjoy it. Some of the maps could be better, but I quite like it. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know if this will help you, if you're already playing the game, or are looking forward to playing it next week. Like I said, I'll be covering it as a fair amount across the next week, just in between the usual uploads and streams and stuff like that. So if you're interested in Back 4 Blood content, by all means, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a video, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.